What's the actual system behind supplying 47 stores?
The actual system behind supplying 47 stores would be that we do our test and tune, so to say, test and tune after our research and development of our products. Then we'll determine whether or not we can supply the raw product in quantity at I guess, at a reasonable rate and at a quantity that we'll need. And then we'll get that in. We'll figure out our packaging, what size of bags they'll go in, the amounts. Then we'll figure out our labels, make sure everything on the labels is correct. And then once we have that, then we'll send it out to friends and family, get some feedback to make sure it's going to be a product that at least some people enjoy. And then we'll start introducing it to the stores, kind of as we go through the deliveries. We don't really have a schedule. Our stores are usually eager to see if we have any new products. So, but yeah, once we get all the packaging and the bags and everything figured out, then it's just a matter of getting it on the shelves for the customers.
And we do have a store that we release everything to first.
Yes, our first store gets Martin's in Forest, Ohio, gets our products first, always, to test them. They were the first store that took a risk on us and allowed us to sell their products there. So that's just kind of a sweet little token we give back to them, a little nod to the appreciation. So.
Walk us through a typical delivery cycle.
So, a normal delivery cycle, I will get the car all packed up. We will have a pre-planned route. We will have a pre-planned route for the day, and we will go through. I'll go into the store. I'll check all of the dates of the product. I'll make sure that everything is already rotated and front facing. I'll see what they need, what's selling more than others, and swap things out if necessary. And then I check in with the store manager, make sure that everything's selling well, make sure that customers haven't requested anything, or they don't have any requests themselves. And then I go out, get their candy, come in, check in their candy, and put it on the shelf.
How do you manage relationships with 47 different store owners?
Well, I actually don't have to deal with all of the owners all of the time. Occasionally they're in their stores or they do reach out to us. They do contact and we talk to them initially to start, but it's usually managers after that. So I have to deal with each store's manager. And it really just depends on the person. I just go in being myself and I talk to them about their day, make sure that they're doing well and that everything's going good with our candy. And it kind of flows from there.
Explain your never stuck policy. Why do you do this?
Our never stuck policy. We came up with that, being a small business again and going around and hearing a bunch of people say, no, 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 we don't want to sell your product. We don't want to try. Or now it's becoming more that our competitors are in their store and they're either not satisfied with the competitor and don't want another one, or maybe they even are somewhat satisfied with the competitor, so they don't want another one. Our never stuck policy was introduced because, again, the customer experience. So we want to take the pain out of purchasing our product as a retailer. We understand, or through our research, we found out that retailers were, a lot of the product, if they don't sell it or it expires on the shelf, then they get stuck with that.
Right.
Now, a lot of business owners will know that, yeah, you may get to write that off, but that's still an expense that you have to pay now, and then collect that hopefully on the back end. So that's just part of our way to sweeten up the deal, pun and no pun intended. If we produce a quality product that customers like, then there should be no problem that it sells on the shelf, which is good for the retail owner as well. But if it doesn't sell, then they're less likely to buy again from us, and then a customer's not satisfied with the product, which is ultimately going to hurt us. So with the never stuck, a retailer can take a gamble of buying our product, and if it expires or goes bad, or the product is
Not as appealing because you
appealing, I
can
was gonna
see our
say, yeah,
candy through the front.
you can see everything through the front. So if it's not visually appealing, or if it goes down a date because it doesn't sell, then we'll actually buy it back or swap it for another product. And that way it ensures, again, so it's basically zero risk for the retailers. And we do that again for a thank you to them for allowing us to do business with them, but also more importantly because it protects our brand by always having quality product on the shelf and satisfy customers on all ends.
Even if our customers are happy with our product, if they go into a store and the manager's like, oh, this stuff, it doesn't sell, it just sits there, they're not nice to deal with, then that could turn a customer away too.
Or even just from future ordering more products, those sort of things. So again, it's all about the customer experience, whether it be a retail owner or manager or the actual end consumer.
What mistakes almost killed the business?
Trying to do too much. I would say when we started this business, we wanted to have the store open. That way customers could come in because we love seeing the customers. But then we also had to focus on supplying the stores. And it just got to be where we were open so much. And then after we were open, then we would pack up the car and then we would go deliver to those stores. And then we would come back and we would open the store, close the store, go sell the candy afterwards. And it just became a lot. And so the way that we were able to do the best customer service, we felt, was to open up on limited hours when the town does things so we can support locally, but then still honor our stores.
I was gonna say, to get to all of our retail locations, and then we try to do as many events as possible, so we still get that direct to the end consumer experience, so they can try all the samples as well.
How did you go from garage to 47 stores?
Um, well, if you don't like rejection, then small business or sales is not for you. Basically, again, yeah. Once we had established our frittles, I think we started actually with a 1 ounce frittle initially with a $2 price point to try to introduce it to the market, to establish ourselves, and basically it was just driving around days on end, knocking on doors and asking people, hey, do you want to sell this? Do you want to sell this? Do you want to sell this? And I laugh because we've grown a lot through word of mouth, but still to expand, we still got to get out there and and hear no a lot of times and ask. So
What's the one strategy that changed everything?
what do you think?
Our customer service.
I would say, yeah, that we focus on customer service and quality of products.
Whether we're at a show or through the stores, our customer service is the same whether you're a customer who buys 1 bag or you're a store who buys 100 bags. Our customer service is the same.
I was going to say, along with that, our customer service, maybe more specifically our customer experience. We want, again, whether it's our retail locations or customers at an event coming to see us, we want everybody to have a great experience. So a lot of people think that our free samples are just to get people to buy, which of course we're in the market of selling products, so of course we want them to buy. But more importantly, we want you to try the free samples, so that way you're trying a product that you like. We understand it's a novelty product, it's an impulse buy kind of, and we don't want customers to be dissatisfied with the product. You pay a premium price and then you get home, it's like, well, I don't like this. It wasn't what I expected. Well, when you get to try it for us, you give us instant feedback, and then you're never gonna purchase a product that you don't like.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we hear a lot of people when we're at shows is they say, oh no, I've tried freeze dried and I didn't like it. I didn't like that texture. And it's like, well, we have this texture and that texture and this flavor. And so then they get to try something and it's like, oh, this is freeze dried. So it's nice.
With our melt factor, that's why we introduced that. So then the customers have a little bit of understanding of the range or the type of texture or candy that they'll experience. So our customer experience, I think, is the biggest thing that we try to try to make everybody's day a little sweeter.
Yeah.
Where do you see this going next?
I would love to. Of course, my dreams are big. You know, to have a Bam Wonka factory. You know, would be awesome. You know, of all the different freeze dried treats that you could imagine. But honestly, we would just like to grow, and I think to get into different products.
Right.
Candy, with our license and our setup and our facility now, candy's kind of the only thing that financially,
currently do.
I was gonna say that we do currently, and it would just take a lot for us to get into other products in this facility. So the goal is just to expand, and then that way we can
Offer those.
offer the endless products of freeze drying. Because as far as freeze drying goes, products, I mean, yeah, if you can put it in a freezer and take it out, I mean, you can freeze dry it essentially. So the list and the combinations is endless, and we would like to do some healthy options and
Yeah.
some definitely some more sweet treats and those sort of things, but healthy options for sure.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Nothing else you want
I
to add?
don't. No, I think you hit it right on the head there.